Hello everyone, welcome to Fundamentals. Today we are going to study relative pronoun. Relative pronoun is a pronoun which connects relative clause to pronoun or a noun. So first we need to understand what is relative clause. Relative clause is a group of words which is clause and that clause function as a adjective. It means that part describe noun or a pronoun in the sentence. For example, the man who called you is my brother. The man who called you is my brother. Now, in this sentence, the man, this is our subject and noun. Now, about this noun, this part, who called you, is telling about this part. Which man? The man who called you. The man who called you. It means this part describes the man. Subject of the sentence or noun. So, this whole part is got relative clause. It provides information about noun. And who connects this clause to the noun? The word who. That is why it is called relative pronoun, because that connects relative clause to noun or pronoun. In our case, who. In earlier session, we studied that who is interrogative pronoun. Yes, it is, but it depends on the position of the word. When it is connecting relative clause to the noun, it is relative pronoun. And this is not the only one relative pronoun. There is one more, which is whom. When the person is receiving action, then we use whom. Now let's go through example. The man whom you saw. The man whom you saw yesterday was or is a doctor. Now, why whom is here? Because that person receives action. Then when receives action, we use whom, and this is where it functions as a relative pronoun because it provides information about subject, the man. Which man? The man whom you saw yesterday. Whom you saw is relative clause. Relative clause. This relative clause is connected to the man by this word whom. Whom is our relative pronoun. Who and who. When these are used to connect relative clause to noun, it is said to be relative pronoun. Who and whom are relative pronoun when they connects relative clause to noun. There is one more. She bought the dress which she liked. There are two sentences here. She bought the dress. The dress. She bought the dress. Which dress? She liked the dress. Which she liked. She liked is our relative clause. It is describing the dress. Which dress? Which she liked. Which she liked. She liked is our relative clause. It provides information about the dress. And this word which, it connects the relative clause to dress. So in this case, which is our relative pronoun. What is the function of relative pronoun? It connects relative clause to noun or pronoun. For pronoun, we'll go with one more example. Whom, who, and which. These are interrogative pronouns and relative pronouns as well. It depends on the position of the noun pronoun. We'll go with one more example. I know someone. I know someone who speaks German. We already covered who. We'll go with different one. This is this is the book which I borrowed. This is the book which I borrowed. I borrowed is relative clause. It provides information about the book. Which book? The book that I borrowed. Temporary, taken for reading, which means borrowed. I'll have to return it back again. So which, who, and whom are our relative pronoun. Similarly, whose is also relative pronoun. Whose. This is the man whose son got the prize. This is the man whose son got the prize. Son got the prize. This is our relative clause. It provides information about the man. Which man? Whose son? Whose. This is our relative pronoun. It connects relative clause to the noun. This is also in old session we see it as a interrogative pronoun. It is, but it depends on the position. When it connects relative clause to the noun, it becomes relative pronoun. So, who, whom, which, who, whom, which, whose, and there is one more, that. These pronouns are relative pronouns. Depends on their position. Now we'll go with one more example for that. She went she went to the doctor that treats skin disease, skin problems. That is connecting relative clause to the noun or pronoun. That is also function as a connector. That's why it is relative pronoun. When pronoun connects relative clause to noun or pronoun, it is relative pronoun. So there are five that we studied as a relative pronoun, and this is our last type of pronoun that we studied. In next session we'll study vocabulary and correct use of pronoun. That's it for now. Follow for more